Welcome everyone who joined. We'll be starting in just a bit, waiting for some more people to join. Okay, hello everyone and welcome to the summer edition of the Oasis Community Town Hall. First, let's briefly look at what we'll be talking about today. Next slide, yeah, thank you. So first we'll start with our usual quick overview of where we are and recent engineering updates on the core technologies and paradigms. Then we'll proceed to ecosystem updates, look at our hackathon winners, and hear from our partners building on the Oasis network. And after that, we'll finish with a round of Q&A from everyone who's joining us. Cool. Let's proceed to the next slide. Cool. Right. So the first thing up is some updates from the engineering department here at the Oasis Protocol Foundation. Some exciting things that have been going on and are going on currently. The first anticipated thing is concerns confidentiality, which is finally seeing the light. Basically, we've successfully deployed the key manager paradigm on the testnet, which is the final stepping stone to enabling full confidentiality on the testnet. And this is a milestone in actually making all of this finally available on the mainnet as well. And this means that the testnet can now actually be used to deploy actually confidential smart contracts. We've also updated the Oasis CLI to support confidential transactions, which means that it is now possible to submit encrypted transactions through the CLI. And of course, we'll be updating the tutorials and documentation to make sure that everyone can actually use this. The next exciting thing is the path towards inter-paradigm communication, which enables paradigms to talk to each other. This is currently being worked on and should land in a later release. Also, one of the cool things that we've been working on is supporting latest third generation Intel Xeon CPUs in the Oasis platform. These are the CPUs that have the new SGX2 instruction set and enable much higher performance in SGX enclaves and enable a wide variety of use cases. And by including the primitives for this in Oasis Core, basically all of the paradigms will be, or of the confidential paradigms will be seamlessly able to use the new features, which is also exciting. And last but not least, one thing that we've hinted before, we're working on a confidential EVM paradigm, which will be complementary to our existing Cypher one, and will actually enable developers to develop confidential smart contracts using Solidity and deploy them in a familiar environment. So that's something, and the new confidential EVM paradigm should be live on testnet by the end of the month, if everything goes well. Okie doke. Of course, if there's questions, feel free to just queue them up for the later Q&A. Okay. Next, we can have Linda update us on the state of the Oasis ecosystem.
Thanks so much, Yone. Truly appreciate it. Definitely a lot of exciting things happening on the engineering side and on core platform side. And on the ecosystem side, we absolutely have a lot of interesting news and announcements that I want to share with the community as well. So let's start with something builders and developers are generally excited about. So the ecosystem fund. So last year we rolled out the 160 million Oasis ecosystem fund, and it has the response from the community just been so overwhelming. And this year we added a bit more dry powder to the ecosystem fund. So we're very lucky, and we're also very humble, very grateful that some of the strong backers like Binance Labs, 7X Ventures, and some other VCs wanted to join and putting more capital into use into the Oasis ecosystem fund. So now the size is a 235 million Oasis ecosystem fund. So this is super exciting. We're very grateful for those backers out there, and really hope for the developers and builders to continue to build really exciting applications on the Oasis network. And moving on to DeFi. So we, at the beginning of the year, we have DEX, we have lending, and we are connected to quite a few cross-chain bridges. And over the past few months, we have yield aggregators such as Auto Farm and Beefy recently joined Oasis family. This is very exciting. And for the next month, as well as the upcoming quarters, we'll be focusing on the utility of DeFi, and specifically like we have more community build ideal platforms to be launched on Oasis network very soon. And going to NFT ecosystem. So far we have about slightly over 8 million Rose NFT trading volume on Oasis, and it's a humble start, and we still have a lot we want to improve and a lot we want to do. And but we're very excited about what we have achieved so far. Like, you know, these trading volume is primarily driven by some of the notable collections on the network, such as AI Rose, Oasis Apes, the Swarm Teddies, and Army of Minions, which is the first confidential NFT launched on the network. And on Monday, this week, we just started the R week, which is very exciting. People can take a look as well, like, you know, take a look at announcement, take a look at the collections. You'll be able to see some fine arts on the minted on the network, which is a pretty big milestone for us as well. And the Matamera, which you will hear from the director of product at Matamera, Shay, very, very shortly, about how they position themselves as the first full-fledged NFT marketplace on Oasis and what they are about to do over the next quarter or so. And we have about, for those NFT enthusiasts and the people who are passionate about NFT, so please definitely stay tuned. We have over 20 collections in the pipeline in the short term, and over the long term, we definitely have a lot more that we want to share with the community. So let's talk about next one. Gaming. So we at Oasis, we truly believe our platform is perfectly built for gamers out there. Oasis Emerald paradigm is high performant, super secure, and easy to use. So we're very excited to kind of like unveil a little bit to the community that we have 2 crypto gaming projects to be launched in this month, in June. And we have over 30 gaming projects in the pipeline ready to be launched in the second half of the year. And we're super excited about, and these covers quite a bit of genres. So you will have your typical MMORPGs, you have card games, you have strategy games. It covers quite a bit of genres out there, and we believe gamers, no matter what type of genre you're into, you will find a game that fits you on Oasis. And yeah, just your name mentioned that on the engineer level, we are working on computational EVM. So yeah, so on the ecosystem level, probably in Q3 or so. So we have those computational dApps in the pipeline, primarily those KYC, decentralized identity related projects are definitely in the making. And we have a private / under collateralized lending dApp. There are a couple of teams working on that as well. So definitely a lot of things looking forward to for the ecosystem for Q2, the rest of Q2 as well as upcoming quarters. Super exciting. Yeah, and drum roll, please. So we're so excited to conclude the Oasis Bloom Hackathon Winners, and we're overwhelmed. We're definitely overwhelmed by the submissions we got from participants in the hackathon. And here, let's take a look who are the winners. So we have two categories, as people know, in this hackathon. One is DeFi, and the other one is game. So let's start with DeFi. So the grand prize, which is fully sponsored by Jump Crypto, goes to Cheddar protocol. Cheddar is a lending protocol with isolated lending pools and with the vote escrow, V token mechanics, and support for NFT collateralized loans. And the second one, which is sponsored by Newman Capital Innovative Award, goes to XDAO. For people who know about XDAO, XDAO is a platform for creating and managing DAOs. For the Oasis Hackathon, XDAO built a payroll module. So this module allows for regular payments such as salaries, pay to employee, or some other type of regular payments, which further powers the adoption of crypto to the mainstream. And third is the Distinguished Award, which goes to Mono. Mono is a smart fund allowing single token holder to mine LP pools without the risk of impermanent loss. It solved the impermanent loss issues among DEXs. And the second category will be is gaming. So the grand prize goes to Legends of Oasis, which is a crypto native video game that blurs the lines between GameFi and DeFi. It's a decentralized MMORPG with unique DeFi features. And the second in the game category, NGC Innovative Award, goes to Histopia, which is a metaverse game where players can battle, build, and own. It's a platform for earning, trading, building, customizing, and a social comment. And the third is a Distinguished Award, goes to Calorie Coin Exercise to Earn Jump game. So basically, E2E is like exercise to earn. It creates kind of exercise to earn system where calorie coins are paid as a reward for jumping ropes. And a user around the globe can play this kind of jumping ropes game matches in real time in the metaverse. And last but not least, the most innovative project, the visionary track, goes to Vitruvian's Tools, which is a collection of useful tools for NFT project owners and NFT holders. They build the Discord role machine, NFT transfer tool, whitelist management tool, rarity tools, and raffles and auctions in this hackathon, which is super exciting. We trust a lot of NFT project owners and holders will find the tool they build very useful. So definitely very exciting. We're so grateful that so many innovative, creative talent builders joined the hackathon. And thank you so much for the amazing work you have done during the hackathon. We're very grateful, and we were very excited about you guys launching the project on the network very, very soon.
Yeah, thank you, Linda. And again, congratulations to all the winners. Right, next we'll have Dr. Tuan and Vishwa talk about all things Genetica. Go ahead.
Cool. I can start. I'll introduce you, Tuan. So Genetica and Oasis have been enjoying a very strong relationship for over a year at this point. So Genetica is a leading genomics company in Asia Pacific. You may have heard that on the 17th of May, we announced our partnership. We formalized it during an exclusive ceremony that was presided over by the Vietnamese Prime Minister, his ministers, and other government officials. So this partnership is extremely exciting because it brings the first of its kind precision medicine to Web3. Because for a long time now, you may know that given the fact that we have confidentiality and privacy capabilities of the platform, we have believed that healthcare is one of those verticals that we can disrupt. So we are very happy to see that this is going to be the first foray in disrupting healthcare by providing precision medicine and bringing it to Web3. So we will realize a vision of individuals owning and controlling the use of their genomes, and they get rewarded when they contribute their genomes for research on health conditions outcomes, and when they contribute their genomes for participation in drug discovery. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to Dr. Tuan Cao. Tuan is co-founder and CEO of Genetica. He has a PhD in computer science from Cornell and industry experience at Google and Yahoo before that. So Tuan, you have the floor.
Thank you so much, Viswa. So yeah, hi everyone. My name is Tuan Cao. I am the CEO at Genetica, the company behind the GeneFan Network. It's my pleasure to be here. Can you go to the next slide? Yeah, so you probably know, some of you already know about this. So the GeneFan Network, we already provided the gene decoding services and tokenized ownership of genetic data to more than 100,000 users. So basically, we officially started in 2017, headquartered in San Francisco, USA, and we developed our own gene decoding technology to decode the agent's genome. And at that time, we actually a very small research group, and we actually partnered with the two very big guys, Illumina and Thermo Fisher, to design and manufacture our own gene decoding chip for Asian population. Yeah, and in 2019, we offer our services, the gene decoding services outside of the US, basically like in Singapore and Vietnam. And in December 2021, a very exciting moment that we partnered with Oasis Lab and started migrating our user genetic profile to Oasis Network. I know we may not be the first to provide the ownership and transparency to user genetic data, but I believe we are one of the best in doing that. So by working with Oasis, we are now able to issue the gene NFT to our user. So the gene NFT is just basically proof the ownership of the user data. As such, any user in the GeneFan network will hold a gene NFT. Any access to user data needs approval from the true owner, and the genetic data is secure. The access to the data is transparent. That is like a dream come true. Okay, so can we go to the next slide? So I would like to take this opportunity to announce our launching of Genomics DAO. So basically, the Genomics DAO is a product on top of the GeneFan network and running with the Oasis Lab also. So in a one-sentence definition, the Genomics DAO is a platform that initiates, drives, and governs precision medicine research and development. Yeah, and can you move to the next slide, please? The very first Genomics DAO we are launching right now is for post-COVID stroke prevention. So let me give you a teaser. Basically, like science, the scientists show that after being infected by COVID, the Asians has 3 times more likely to get stroke compared to the Caucasian population. So for this problem, we don't need to depend on the monopolistic centralized institution, for example, the governments or the big pharmaceutical company, to help us to prevent stroke happen on the Asian population. Our community can initiate, drive, and govern this initiative itself, all thanks to the Genomics DAO. So because of the limited amount of time, it's just an exciting month for us, the June of 2022. We are launching the very first genomic now on top of the Oasis network. And okay, it's to you, back to you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you both for this presentation. Next, we have Felix presenting the Fountain Protocol.
Hi, this is Felix from Fountain. I'm very honored to be here at the Oasis town hall meeting to introduce you guys about Fountain. So what we do is, so first of all, who we are. Fountain Protocol is the first lending protocol on Oasis network. And we are taking advantage of the extremely efficient and low cost of Oasis network. So users can experience one-stop management of DeFi assets and services like lending, trading at the best rate, leverage, and liquidity mining. So what we have accomplished in the past quarter. So the protocol was live on the last day of February this year. And 2 weeks later, on April 13th, LP token section was launched, and we support 6 trading pairs from Yuzu Swap and GenKeeper. And on April 26th, Fountain Privilege NFT sale started, which is the first financial NFT on Oasis network. So okay, let me give you some introduction about this NFT. It's a bit interesting, and this sale was very hot and welcome by the community, because it's an option. You can buy a FTP token, which is our token, at the very low cost, like in 3 months. Basically, it's the option, like financial option. So you can do that in an NFT way. So we sold it like in a very short term. And FTP token was listed on MXAC Global on the last April 29th. So right now it's already available on CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko. So you can check the market data for FTP token. And we have right now already launched 2 MAs with the Oasis network. So yeah, thanks for the marketing from Oasis network. So yeah, we really appreciate that. Next page, please. So what we'll do next, first, we'll support more tokens as collateral. We will launch our USD market. As you know, like on Oasis network, we have several DEXs, and we have several bridges from different companies, right? There's a lot of a need for the stable coins. So what we will do is this, we will provide the more feature for people to trade and use the different USDs from the different bridges. So the most attractive feature for this point is that loan to value ratio reaches 95% because there's no liquidation risk. So yeah, so that's the people can enjoy the high LTV LTV ratio on this pool. And another one is we are going to launch the DEX aggregator in this month. So because we have several DEXs right now on Oasis network, each one supporting different tokens. So and we a DEX aggregator will definitely help the trading experience for the OSM network. So it will lower the cost, and it definitely will bring more traffic to the platform. Okay, next page, please. Okay, another thing we are going to launch is the IFO platform. So it's already technically available. We're just waiting for the right moment, a right project. So this will be a new model and for a token sale pioneered by Fountain to support the development of the new projects on Oasis network. So this will enable the projects to raise funds on our user base, and the product provides our users with the more promising and high quality projects. The last one is the lottery function. So we are going to launch lottery in this month as well, because this is a unique game where the users can win FTP tokens. And this one is also, we are waiting for the band to help us with the VRF feature. So yeah, so this one we are expecting to launch in June as well. Yeah, next page, please.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay. That's all for me. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Felix, for this presentation. Cool. So joining us next, we have Matej and Shay. They'll be talking about the state of NFTs on the Oasis network.
Yeah, thank you, Erne. Hi, everyone. Matej here from the BD team. Today, I'll give a quick overview of the NFT ecosystem on our network. In the last town hall, we heard from Linda about why Oasis is the perfect blockchain for NFTs. And we saw great presentations from Bitmark and Matamera about the products they're building. But today I'm going to touch on our NFT creator initiative, confidential NFTs, and the Army of Minions collection. So why give so much emphasis on NFTs? Well, it's one of the fastest growing sectors in crypto. And even with the recent slump in the markets, interest in high quality NFTs has not subsided. It actually makes sense as NFTs are... Sorry. Okay. So yeah, somebody, I think it's not muted. It makes sense because the tokenomics, you know, I mean, the dynamics are different to, let's say, tokenomics of an ERC20 token. Everything around them doesn't necessarily revolve only around price, and they're more relatable to the majority of people. And that's why they're also a great way to onboard the next wave of Web3 participants. We have quite a few community build projects that launched on Matamera and more recently on RoseArt as well. We also have another NFT marketplace going live soon with collections of their own, so there will be plenty to choose from. But to additionally support the trend, we decided to launch an NFT creator initiative where we'd like to motivate and activate our ambassadors and our community members to help bring new and exciting collections to Oasis. The first result of this initiative is the Art Week that's happening right now on Matamera, where we have completely new collections launching. There are more in the fine art realm, but more on that from Shay later on. I'll rather briefly explain how anybody can participate in the NFT Creator Initiative. As mentioned, the purpose is to bring new collections to the Oasis network and help artists that haven't yet interacted with Web3 with a smooth transition to minting their first NFTs. I mean, we of course also welcome artists from other chains to expand their work to Oasis and see the benefits of minting on our network. Everybody's welcome. And this is where you can get involved. We're finalizing all the details about the program as we speak. But to give you a general idea, we'll be giving out rewards for bringing new collections that will successfully mint on one of our native marketplaces. And there's a special treat planned for the ones that will bring in collections that will be in high demand by the market. But more details will be released soon, so make sure you follow our social channels to find out more. Now moving on to one of the special features of our NFTs that we released together with the Army of Minions collection done by Bishop, and that is confidential NFTs. So yeah, the first question is, what are confidential? Why are confidential NFTs so unique to our network? And on the surface, they basically look the same as regular ERC-721 tokens, where you have some public attributes, including maybe an image, but the real magic is in the parcel token attribute that gives the NFT holder the rights to access the data on parcel. In this case, parcel enables the artist to have strict control over who has access to the confidential part of the NFT. For the Army of Minions, the NFT holder can download all the private assets, but more complex applications can use the full permissioning system offered by Parcel like access from within a confidential computing environment. Bishop's minion collection was really a perfect fit for our confidential NFTs, as the minions are created by a vast sequence of trigonomic and algebraic manipulations. The discovery of the specific chain is basically their DNA, how they're created. And he wanted only the owner to have access to that underlying function. One also receives a high resolution image of the minion in the confidential part, making the ownership of that image unique to the owners that held the NFT at one point in time. And it can be just right-clicked and saved. To enable easy and simple use of this great feature, we also create an app where one can mint the confidential NFTs through the app without any needed programming experience. You only need the assets. The rest is done and deployed by the app. I think I already mentioned that in one of our previous AMAs that the app is not yet publicly available because we still need to do a bit more testing and a few UI modifications, but we'll be looking to bring it to you soon. That's it from my side, and passing the mic now to Shay. Thank you.
Let's move on to the next slide. Take a quick glimpse at the Bishop collection.
Oh, yeah.
And then next slide, please. Cool. So hi everyone, this is Shay from Matamera. I'll give a brief intro. As you may all know about us, we are the biggest and the first NFT marketplace on Oasis network. So, but there's much more about Matamera than just an NFT gallery. So Matamera spun off from All3 Network. It is an incubated project by Berkeley Blockchain Accelerator. We build the purpose of the project is to bridge the data value from Web 2.0 onto Web 3.0 and allow users to benefit from their Web 2.0 data in the Web 3.0 space. We have a tight integration with Oasis Parcel to ensure that the data asset of users are private and secure. In particular, we do that through a Web 3.0 plus identity infrastructure called mBuddy. In this case, users will build an identity based on their Web 2.0 data, and they can engage with engage in the NFT DAO and GameFi industries with this identity, essentially benefiting from their Web 2.0 data asset in the Web 3. Next slide, please. A few updates from our side. So this quarter, we built the Matamera gallery. It is the first and fully fledged NFT marketplace on the Oasis network, and currently also the largest. We have over 6,000 active NFT collectors engaging in 14 NFT collections and yielding a trading volume of over 7 million rows. We believe that a fully fledged NFT marketplace would be the foundation of embracing a more vibrant NFT ecosystem in Oasis network, and we're looking forward to that in the next quarter. Next slide, please. So other than the NFT marketplace, we also built mLaunch. It is the NFT launchpad on Matamera. So mLaunch offers 3 core features and tools to the NFT creators. The first one is the code-free minting service. This allows the NFT creators to not only configure their NFT collections, but also to host their NFT minting service, the minting events without any coding skills. This include the whitelisting users, the hosting the pre-sale event, the public sale event, as well as configuring the unboxing event for the NFT collection. Essentially, it will allow the NFT creators to launch and sell their NFT in the entire life cycle without any coding skill. The second offering of mLaunch is the automated community engagement. As I mentioned earlier, the purpose of Matamera is to allow users to benefit from their Web 2 data in Web 3. in this case, they will be benefiting from their Web2 community engagement data in the Web3, creating a brand new way to run and market for your NFT project. Next is that mLaunch also allow users to bridge their Web 2.0 fan status onto Web 3.0. As we all know, the artists and creators, a lot of them already have a pre-established community build on Web 2.0. And this service allow the NFT buyers to still benefit from the data that supports their fans status in Web 2.0 while buying and getting engaging in the NFT launch process in Web 3.0. We believe that this will be like a new gate to bring in the NFT buyers from the traditional space. So far we have successfully launched 6 NFT collections, and we have an upcoming of 9 more collections in the pipeline. Next slide, please. So as you may now know, we are hosting an art week. In the art week, we're having 5 artists from 3 continents, and we're featuring 1 artist every day. The purpose of the art week is to expand the NFT creator economy on the Oasis network. And these artists are currently launching their project using mLaunch. We're looking forward to host more artists on Matamera using mLaunch and allow them to mint and host their NFT sales event without any coding barriers. Next slide. So in the next quarter, since we have already built a complete NFT marketplace and also Launchpad that allows the creators to onboard to Oasis ecosystem, we will next be focusing on further expanding the NFT ecosystem with features that are unique to Oasis. This includes the data-driven NFT launch, which allows the projects to make launch decisions based on data-driven insights towards the NFT, towards the community without compromising their privacy. This is built upon Oasis Parcel, and it is a really unique feature to Oasis ecosystem. Another one is the confidential NFT. We actually currently have 2 teams that are actively looking for ways and exploring ways to explore the confidentiality of NFT, and they're actively engineering new ways and new experience around the NFT contents using this feature. Next, we also have we're also building the mBuddy portal. It is the core product of mBuddy. It's a core product of Matamera, and we look forward to scale the Web 3.0 identity service through the mBuddy portal, and it will allow the creators to customize their experience engaging with their community using a data-backed method. Cool. Looking forward to the next quarter and see the blooming of Oasis ecosystem, especially in the NFT industry.
Yeah, exciting times. Thank you very much, Mate and Shay, for these exciting updates. So the next thing that we should mention is that we'll also be at Consensus with Don and some of our investors speaking at an exclusive event on Thursday. And of course, we're looking forward to seeing you all there. Next, we'll answer a few questions from the community. Let's see. Okay, the first question. For the devs that already have working projects on Emerald, can this be ported to the new private EVM once the inter-paratime is available, so no need to build on both paratimes? That's correct. So basically, one will be able to use the cross-paratime communication to move assets or do cross-chain contract calls between the different paratimes. So definitely different ways of doing this are possible. Like you could move all the assets over, or you could have parts of an application done, like the public parts in one paradigm and the confidential parts in the other paradigm. So different models, depending on the use cases, are all possible. Cool. Hopefully this answered the question. Let's see. Okay. Next one, a confidential EVM compatible chain seems like a killer USP. Any information on partners to build, adjust their dApps there? Which use cases are they interested in? Maybe Linda, you can respond.
Yeah, cool. Thanks, Rene. Thanks so much for this great question from one of our community members. So yeah, so we're super excited about this upcoming confidential EVM paradigm, and because we believe privacy is a core pillar to propel Web3 forward. And we truly believe there are going to be a lot of specific developers who want to explore that part of Web3 and want to explore the confidential decentralized applications to be more involved in Web3. So some of the application, again, like we want to be very humble. We don't want to kind of like be very prescriptive as to what kind of Web3 applications could be built on this paradigm, because we believe the talents, the innovation creation are from the developer builders versus from Oasis. So, but as we think about what is, if you, with our kind of like humble opinions, if we could, one of the applications we do see missing in the current crypto world, and we believe it's going to be super critical to drive Web3 forward. It could be the such a decentralized identity, such as confidential NFT, more in the sense of confident, like a membership card, and some of the maybe private lending. So as we know, current lending is more of a crypto lending, like it's RV of the world. And it's over collateralized, but does that really bring lending to the mainstream? There's a question mark there. So we believe, using confidentiality, using privacy, maybe we can bring like somewhat like credit score, credit history into the protocol. So it's not necessarily over collateralized. It'll be how much you can lend, how much you can borrow is based on your track record. And that data definitely needs to stay confidential versus being on the public ledger, right? So we do think there definitely, again, like we want to be very humble, and we don't want to be prescriptive, but we think like decentralized identity, confidential NFT, confidential private lending that bring some of the Web3, some of the crypto use cases to the mainstream. That definitely could be a very interesting starting point for the community.
Cool. Yeah, thanks, Linda, for the answer. Let's see what's next. Okay, how does a genetic or data DAO use the network? Is the Rose token used for this as well? Yeah, maybe Wishwa or Tuan, one of you take this one.
Yeah, I can have to answer it for this one. So both the genomic DAO and the genetic data actually store on the trusted execution environments of the Oasis network, and every access to the data actually logged on the blockchain of Oasis network. So that is a very short answer. Yeah, back to you, Wiswa, if you want to add anything.
No, I think that should suffice.
Right, and if I can add, I think there's a second part of the question: is the Rose token used for this as well? Yeah, so assuming DAOs will be launching their own DAO governance tokens, the Rose tokens will be used for transaction fees, just as how Rose are being used in other dApps on the network.
Cool. Let's see. Anything else? Okay. What are the next steps to have Cypher released in Mainnet? Is there an ETA? Right. So actually, Cypher has been on Mainnet for a while. I guess since last October. The only thing that it didn't have is the smart contracts module, which is, again, been in testing on the testnet. And as we mentioned earlier, we finally enabled true confidentiality for all the smart contract features on the testnet. And assuming everything goes well, we should see it move to the mainnet soon in form of an upgrade. Hopefully this answered the question. And of course, people should actually try it out. Anything else? Okay. When can we expect more podcasts and media that involves people from the Oasis Foundation? A16Z recently started a podcast. Maybe Linda, you can talk about this.
Yeah, so I think A16Z and Jason Harwood, obviously we have a lot of respect for this super renowned investor. They started a podcast, I think, a while back, and then they're very well known for their content production. And almost every partner there is almost like an influencer themselves. So we have a lot of respect for them. And we are definitely ramping up on our own content strategy. So Oasis joining those industry conferences, events, just a starting point. And we want to do more. I mean, this community town hall is one of our content strategy as well, but we understand, like, you know, there's just still so much we need to do. So podcast is one, and fireside chat with some of the industry, known figures, industry, like known talented builders, definitely something we want to do. And then actually we also have been ramping up our Twitter space that as a part of content strategy. I think over the past few months, led by our marketing team and community team, we have been inviting quite a few like NFT project owners, some of the interesting gamers. Yeah, so definitely we're ramping up on our content. We're ramping up on content. Podcast is one of them, and we want to do more on Twitter space. We want to do more offline events. We want to host more hackathons. So yeah, definitely stay tuned. There are going to be a lot of exciting things coming up.
Cool. Thanks, Linda. Okay, next, let's see. The privacy of the Oasis network is optional. That is, you can choose which data to show and which not. That is correct. So basically, at least for Cypher, you will be able to, in the smart contracts, define what parts of the state are public and which is private. This will be up to is up to the smart contract running in the confidential paradigm. So definitely this makes it easier for the smart contract to actually, depending on the use case, decide what to make public or what to keep confidential. Of course, while designing such applications, one needs to be careful about any potential data flows between the confidential and the public parts, because those can be used as side channels. This is something that confidential application developers need to be aware of, and definitely something that will provide some guidance on. Hopefully this answers the question. Okay. This one. How is the bear market affecting Oasis? Are you adding new members? How is the runway to get through this market? I can take this. So basically, yes, we're definitely still hiring and adding new members, both in the engineering department and products. And we have a long runway, independent of the things that are happening in the markets. So we should be good. Cool. Let's see. Next one. Some people worry that some of the VCs or backers have sold their token and have no longer interest in the network. When can we expect some of our larger partners to share media or talking points with us? Maybe Linda, can you take this one?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So, you know, we're definitely very grateful for investors investing in Oasis very early on, and you know, as a kind of like VC also has their own mandate. You know, they also have their own LP they need to report to. So it's understandable that they realize some of the returns in the market, which is, you know, part of what VCs do. But as far as we know, we stay in very close contact with our backers, and some we know that haven't sold any tokens, and they're definitely a big believer in Oasis. They stake their tokens on a network, and then in terms of when do we expect to have the large partner to share media talking point? So actually, as a part of what we share in the community town hall, you know, at Consensus, which is going to be held in Austin next week. So we have Oasis is hosting an exclusive event, and it's hosting actually a workshop. And within the workshop, there's going to be a panel where our founder, Professor Dong Song, will be there and joining by some of our backers. So you will see Hasib from Dragonfly Capital. You also have some of our important partners, such as Kana from Jump Crypto. So yeah, so that's definitely one of the events where you will hear some of the investors share their view on Oasis, among other things that they will share. And we want to do more, as we talk about as part of our content strategy. We also want to do more potentially fireside chats with industry known figures. That could be investors, that could be some influencers, that could be just the well-known builders and developers in the space. So definitely we definitely want to ramp up our content strategy and share more with our community in the future.
Cool, thanks for that. Okay, something for me again. We know that a paradigm theoretically supports up to 1000 TPS. If you need higher throughput than that, could you scale your service on multiple paradigms? And if yes, how? How would you go about load balancing between, let's say, 10 paradigms? Is there going to be native support for something like this? Right, so there's definitely different approaches to this. There's also different levels that you can build things on if you need more throughput. Because one way is, of course, doing everything in smart contracts and distributing it over multiple paradigms and using inter-paradigm communication for all of this. But of course, once you have a lot of you need to basically come up with a way to properly shard your things. Otherwise, you will be having problems with communication overhead. So that's one way. The other one is also you can imagine you can have dedicated paradigms for specific applications, and that can make things more efficient because they don't need to execute on inside a WASM runtime. And the other thing, of course, is also something called horizontal scaling, where the platform would do the balancing for you. This is something that would basically analyze the read-write sets of transactions, and based on that, decide how to best parallelize the workloads. This is definitely something that's doable, but we also plan to visit that. There are some design ideas in that direction, but let's just say that other things have higher priorities. So definitely load balancing across paradigms is possible. Okay. Where are you currently in the confidential EVM development cycle? Good one. Okay, so actually all of the development that we are doing is open source, so one can actually check the repositories to see what we are doing. So it's not everything is not like just hot air. Basically, we have the major parts already implemented, and we're moving into the currently working on the more of the client side support to making sure that it will be easy to use for the dev developers, and by the end of the month this should move to testnet if we don't discover any major issues. So yeah, and that will immediately launch with full confidentiality on the testnet. Cool. Let's see. Anything else? Okay, I think we've answered mostly everything. Cool.
I think there's still a question regarding the partnerships that I think Wishwa might have the insights to share with the community. June, do you want to address that question?
Okay. Cool. Okay, I found it. Sorry, I missed that one. Okay, can you guys elaborate on partnership statuses? Right. Yeah, Wishwa, can you take that one?
Absolutely. Meta is something that's on everybody's mind for sure. So what I can say there is we can't really speak to it in terms that are beyond what we tweeted many months ago. So this is a fascinating project that we're working with Meta on, and this is in responsible AI using a combination of technologies. They came to us because of the fact that we have strength in secure computing. So we're using homomorphic encryption, ZKP, and also secret sharing and multi-party computation. So this is something that all that I can say is that the system is going to be in production very soon. And as far as other partnerships are concerned, BMW, yes, we've been working with them. This is around differential privacy. The expectation is that we will be able to deploy our differential privacy solution, because one thing that I should say is that for us, it's not just confidentiality, but also privacy technologies that come on top of it. So differential privacy, for example, is one of those. With BMW, that's precisely what we're providing. And the interesting thing is that same technology is what we propose to use for a couple of other interesting partnerships in healthcare, for example. So there are 3 more partnerships that we would love to talk about, but we can't just yet. You have to wait for us to do so. One in healthcare and a couple of others. Yeah, I'm going to stop there. Thanks.
Cool. Thank you, Vishwa. Hopefully that answered the question. Okay. I think, yeah, we're out of time. So definitely a lot of questions today. So that's really nice to see. And thank you everyone for attending our town hall. Maybe we can switch to the next slide that has some quick infos. Right. So yeah, keep following our community and social media channels for any updates in the future. And yeah, let's build some exciting things. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks so much, Yarne. Thanks so much, team and the community member who joined the community town hall. I know in certain part the world is pretty late already. So thanks so much for taking the time to join us.